Here's the hard truth. Your content, you can post content every day, but if people don't see you as an authority, they're just going to scroll past it. So today I'm going to show you exactly what's missing and how to fix it so that your content finally converts. This live is for coaches where you've already hit six figures in your business, you already have a following on social media, but you're not really sure how to create content that converts your followers into customers. This live is also for the ambitious business owner where you're capped between 8 to 10K months. You're currently getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you want to know what else you can do on social media in order for you to scale your reach as well as your revenue by creating video content. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this live, I'm going to be talking about if your content is failing because no one sees you as an authority. So I'm going to show you three things that's missing from your content, how you can fix it so you can actually show up as the authority in your content, and now people will actually want to buy from you. So if your views are low, they're stuck between 100 views, 200 views, even 300 views. You're getting comments that's about 1 to 2 comments. One of them is from your mama or your spouse who just wants to support you. And you're wondering why people aren't sliding in your DMs, why they're not buying from you the way that you expect them to online. Then this live is for you because I'm going to be showing you three things that's missing from your content so that you can fix it to show up as the authority. And now, when you're showing up as the authority, people want to buy from you. So as you're coming in, if you are a business owner, feel free to drop the name of your business in the chat so I can go ahead and shout you out. This live is for business owners, entrepreneurs, and service providers. If you are currently getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you want to know how you can use social media in order to scale your business to the next level, then this live is going to help you. I'm going to show you how you can take what you're doing offline, how you can do it online in order to see success. So if you're a business owner, go ahead and drop the name of your business in the chat. I want to go ahead and shout you out. If you're not a business owner, but you want to stick around because you want to be motivated, feel free to stick around and tell me, what city are you tuning in from? What state are you tuning in from? What country are you tuning in from? I am in New York. It is 9:04 in the morning. It's a beautiful summer day. As you are coming in, I love to teach my lives like they are master classes. Why? Because when I share these gems with you, it helps you to take your business and your content to the next level. But here's the thing, you want to grab your notebook, grab your pen, take note, take action, make some money, honey. Why? Because action takers are money makers, not time wasters. We're going to be together today for about an hour. I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems. It's going to help you take your content to the next level. But as you're coming in, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, and that's engage with this live. If you double tap on the screen, if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube, if you like this video, then the social media will actually see that and start to push it out, right? So as you're coming in, just double tap on the screen or like the video so that social media can see it and say, okay, this is a good live. Also, take some time to share it out with your followers. All you have to do is hit the arrow at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen and share it with your followers. Share like 15 people so that they can also come in as well. So again, I'm going to be sharing with you, your content is failing because no one is seeing you as the authority. These are three things that's missing from your content in order for you to shift it so that you can actually start to convert your followers into customers. If you're already accustomed to getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you want to know how you can use social media in order to increase those sales, that's what this live is about. You have to show up in a certain way on social media so that people would actually want to buy from you. And we're going to be talking about that today. So who am I? I'm Shamara Star Cox, TV producer and marketing coach. My goal is to help 6 and 7 figure business owners create binge-worthy videos in order to get seen and get paid on social media. Why binge-worthy? Because whatever you binge, you buy. We are in a society where people are binging Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, you name it. They're binging it every single day, and then they're paying for it every single month. And so what I do is I show you how to recreate that same exact experience on your page so that now you're taking your audience from just browsing to binging to buying. That's the strategy, and it works every single time. Right? So again, today I'm going to be sharing with you, your content is failing because no one is seeing you as the authority. If they don't see you as the authority, they're not going to want to buy from you. So if you're stuck between 100 views, 200 views, 300 views, you're constantly getting comments that says you're inspiring, but they're not asking you how they can buy from you. I want to show you how to shift that so that now when you're showing up on social media, people actually are sliding in your DMs and asking how they can buy from you. when you're showing up on social media, people are actually, you're actually generating leads and not just followers. So again, as you're coming in, grab your notebook and your pen, take some notes, take some action on the things that I'm sharing with you. And if you're a business owner, feel free to drop the name of your business in the chat. If you're not a business owner, then you can just catch this replay on my live page on YouTube and LinkedIn. That's where this replay is going to live. Hey, Kwanda, thanks for joining me today. So I want to share this quick story, and then we're going to go into the 3 things that's missing from your content in order for you to fix it so you can show up as the authority in your content and get the sales that you deserve, right? So this story is actually found in 1 Kings chapter 10, 1-7, right? This is a story. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. But this is the story with King Solomon, where the Queen of Sheba comes to visit him, right? So here was King Solomon. He was known as the wisest man in the world. Actually, I'm going to take it back a little bit. I'm going to take it back to when he was a kid, right? So King Solomon, his father, which was King David, had passed away. And now King Solomon had become king at a young age, but he was nervous. He was nervous to take on this type of role. How many of you have ever been in a position like this before where you decided, I'm going to start my business, I want to move to the next level of my career. You want to do the next thing, but you're nervous about it. You're nervous that you're going to fail. You're thinking to yourself, what if people find me out? What if I can't really help them, right? And that's imposter thinking, by the way, but that's where Solomon was. He felt like he was too young. What if he couldn't really lead this kingdom? What if he couldn't really help the people? And so what did he do? He decided to pray to God. And he asked God, he said, Lord, please give me wisdom. He didn't ask for wealth. He didn't ask for his enemies to be destroyed. Instead, he asked for wisdom because he knew this was the one thing that he was going to need in order for him to be a successful king, in order for him to help his people. So there he is now. Now, as he's growing in his wisdom, he's known as the wisest king in the world. And as he grows in wisdom, he grows in wealth as well. But not only is he growing in wisdom and wealth, but his fame is also growing. People started hearing about him from all over the world. Here was King Solomon living in Israel, and Queen Sheba hears about him all the way in Africa. And she decides to come to him because she had questions to ask. She had a problem that she needed to be solved, and it wasn't going to be solved by the people that was in Africa. It wasn't going to be solved by her friends or by her family. She heard about this guy all the way in Israel, and she thought maybe he could help me. So she travels all the way to Israel just to have dinner with him and ask him the questions that was on her heart. And when she asked him the questions, the Bible said that there was nothing too hard for Solomon to answer, right? And it was so powerful because after he answered the questions, she was so blessed that she gave him even more money. The man didn't even need any money, but she gave him even more money, right? And here are the things that I learned. There's so many things that I learned from this scripture, but there's 2 things that I want to pull out from this. The first thing is, when you're showing up as the expert, people will pay you. So when I'm talking about you showing up as the authority in your content and you're not getting paid what you deserve right now, it's because people don't see you as the expert yet. Queen Sheba traveled all the way from Africa to visit Solomon in Israel because she saw him as the expert and she saw him as the person who was going to solve his problems. Are people seeing you as the expert? Are people seeing you as the authority? Or are they just seeing you as the person who's inspiring them on their timeline? Or are they just seeing you as the person who's making them laugh on their timeline? If you're not getting the sales that you deserve on social media, it's probably because they don't see you as the expert yet. And I want to show you how you can show up as the expert so that now people can actually find you. The second thing that I found very, very important is that Queen Sheba heard about King Solomon's fame. She was all the way in Africa. He was all the way in Israel. My question to you is, are people hearing about your fame? Because your next level in your business is contingent upon the right people hearing from you and a lot of people hearing about you. There are some of you right now where you are making impact in your local community, and that's amazing. You're making impact in your inner circle, but you're being called to higher. You're being called to bigger stages. You're being called to high profile podcasts, and it starts right here on social media. The only problem is not enough people are seeing you yet. It doesn't matter how much videos you post. It doesn't matter if you post 3 or 4 times a day. You still feel invisible because your content isn't being pushed to the right people. And some of you are thinking, maybe I'm shadow banned. Maybe it's the algorithm. Maybe Instagram just doesn't like me. When in all actuality, it's just that you're not putting out the content for the algorithm to push. You're not putting out the content that's resonating with your audience. So how do you shift? It is very much possible for you to hit 20K months, 30K months, 50K months in your business just from social media strategies if you use video content in a way that converts your followers into customers. I want you to imagine this. Imagine your dream clients finding you on social media every day, not just through word of mouth, not just through referrals, but they're finding you through your videos. There are some people who will never hear about you through word of mouth and referrals. There are some people who will never hear about you in your local community. They will only hear about you through your content. My question to you is, how long are you going to keep them waiting? Or are you finally deciding now is the time? Now is the time for me to create the content that's going to create deep connections with my audience and convert them into customers. If you're like, that's me, I want to do that because I know that I'm being called to more and I got to stop playing small. I got to stop settling. If you're like, that's me, I want that, then I want to invite you to the AI Content to Cash Challenge. Yes, I said AI. I have been promoting the challenge for the last 2 years as the Convert Content to Cash Challenge, but just recently we changed it to the AI Content to Cash Challenge. In this challenge, I'm actually going to show you AI tools that you can use in order to create content that sells in 5 days or less. So if you have been struggling to create content that stands out, if you have been having a fear of sounding salesy in your videos, if you have been posting content here and there because you're running out of ideas, then I want to invite you to this challenge so I can show you how to create the content that sells using AI tools. All you have to do is DM me the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you're on TikTok, feel free to hit the orange button at the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Type challenge accepted into the DM and send me your email address so I can personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you're on Instagram or LinkedIn, all you have to do is DM me the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. But if you're on YouTube, I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. And the link that's in the chat, all you have to do is click it, and then you can join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge so that you can finally learn how to use AI tools better than what you're using them now. There are some of you where you're using ChatGPT and it's amazing, right? But you're using it to create the content, but the content isn't converting. I want to show you what you can do to shift it in order for you to reach your dream audience so that you can actually get the sales that you desire. Awesome. Okay. Hey, Levon. Levon says, our beloved sister is stunningly beautiful. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Awesome. So as you're coming in here, take some time to love on this live. The more that you engage with the live, the more that social media will push it out, but also share it with your audience. Don't keep it to yourself. I'm not going to gatekeep at all. I never do. I love teaching my lives like they are master classes because I know what it's like to be on social media, listening to this guru, listening to that guru, and not seeing the results that you want. So instead, in these live videos, I just pour out. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions in the chat, but also take some time to share this live out with your friends so that they can also join us. So again, today I'm going into your content is failing because no one is seeing you as the authority, right? I'm going to share with you 3 things that are missing from your content so that you can actually show up as the authority and the expert. If you find yourself hopping on trends, making people laugh, being super inspiring, you got motivation Mondays, you got testimony Tuesdays, you got wisdom Wednesdays, but it's not turning into convert on Thursdays, then I want to show you how you can shift that so that now you're putting out content where people see you as the expert, they're booking you for speaking engagements, and they are buying from you, whether you are selling coaching services or you are a consultant or you own a spa or a hair salon. I want to show you how you can shift. And that's with 3 things that are missing from your content as to the reason why people do not see you as the authority when you are showing up. And the first thing that is missing is conviction. The first thing that is missing is conviction. You're sharing content. So if you're taking notes, this is where you want to start taking notes. You're sharing content, but it's safe. It's neutral. It's blending in with everyone else that's in your niche. You're looking at everyone else and you're going, oh, if that made them go viral, I should be able to do it too to make me go viral. The only thing is, when you do the same exact piece of content, you do the same exact thing, it doesn't go viral. You get 100 views and you're wondering why, because you did it the same way the other person did, right? The reality is because you're not sharing your authenticity in it. You're not sharing your values. You're not sharing your philosophies. People are attracted to your personality, not the other person's. They're attracted to who you are, right? So I remember when I first started creating content, I was telling people, I'm a TV producer, and I was telling them, I'm going to share with you TV industry secrets so that you can create content that sells. That's what I was telling my audience. And they were kind of sort of listening, but not really, right? And I was kind of sort of getting sales. But what shifted for me is when I started teaching Bible marketing secrets, when I started teaching biblical principles for your content, that's when my content started taking off. That's when I started getting more clients. Why? Because I was sharing my values. And people would come to me and say, you know what? I always wanted to do what you were doing. I always wanted to know, how can I infuse the Bible, or how can I infuse God into my business? But I didn't know how to do it. And I didn't feel bold enough to do it. But for me, I was doing it and they were attracted to it. And so because of that, there's a large part of my audience where they're attracted to the Bible. Now, here's the thing. My clients aren't all Christian. I have clients who are Muslim, who are atheists, who are agnostic, right? But at some point in their life, they've experienced the Bible. So when they hear me talking, they're drawn to it, right? And so when I started teaching content like that, that's when I really started growing my following, my engagement, and my sales. So what do you value? What are your philosophies? Your philosophies is your unique way of teaching, right? So if you sound like everyone else, you're going to drown like everyone else. So the goal is for you to stand out. How can you create content in a way? How can you put out educational content in a way that it sounds different, where you're standing out? Right? For me, when I first started, I was doing a lot of transition videos, and people were like, oh my goodness, this is so creative. I've never seen anything like this before. And then when I started teaching Bible marketing secrets, and people were still blown away because they've never seen that before. So, what can you do when you're teaching your audience? How can you stand out? There's one thing that I teach all of my clients, which is called an untouchable uniqueness. That's something that you do in your videos that makes you stand out. That's unique from everyone else, right? There are so many people on social media. There's like 1.6 billion people on Instagram, 1.5 on TikTok, 1 billion on LinkedIn. And about 30% of those users are business owners that are vying for the attention of your audience, just like you are. So that's millions of business owners who's putting out content, trying to convert their followers into customers, just like you. So what can you do in order for you to stand out, right? So here's the thing. The cost of not standing out is that you're playing safe and it's keeping you invisible. So if your views are stuck between 100 views, 200 views, 300 views, you're only getting 1 or 2 comments. One of those comments is from your best friend who just wants to support you. Chances are you're not creating content that's getting you to stand out. So how can you shift that? How can you shift that? You can actually use some AI tools in order to brainstorm some polarizing statements or unique takes on your industry so that you're not playing safe anymore, right? So what I do is I show my audience or show my clients how they can use ChatGPT to create their content, but not put out regular old content that everyone else is doing. Put out content that actually speaks to their dream clients. What is it that their dream clients want to see? How do you prompt ChatGPT in a way that's actually going to attract your audience to you, right? So here's the thing. You don't have to use ChatGPT. It is one of the most popular tools, but you can use Centra, you can use Claude.ai, whatever tool works for you. But the goal is to prompt it in a way that you're getting unique content ideas that actually shows your personality and shows you as the expert. When you're doing these two things, you'll no longer be invisible online. I get a lot of people who tell me, I love your content, your joy stands out, you're so what's the word? Oh, I'm blanking on the word. Oh, I love your energy. That's what it is. I love your energy. They always say that, right? But that's on purpose because that's part of my personality and that's what I want to stand out, right? So, what is it? What type of energy do you want to transfer through your content? What do you want your audience to feel? What emotions do you want your audience to feel? And that will help you to create your content. So, one thing you can do is when you're prompting your AI tool, whether it's Chat, Centra, Claude.ai, when you're prompting it, you can actually tell Chat, this is the emotions that I want my audience to feel. How can I create content like that? And I'll tell you right now, it will give you some ideas on how you can create content that can get your audience to feel these types of emotions. So I have a former client, and what she did is she's a life coach, and she helps her audience to be able to feel at peace so that they can make better decisions in their life, right? And her goal for her page was to create this peace and serenity so that when people come to her page, they can actually feel the peace. So the way that she showed up, to the way that she dressed, to the way that she spoke, exuded this peace. And you know what happened? Her content started to grow. She was able to get people interested in wanting to buy from her, all because she wanted to create this type of environment or this experience for her audience where they felt at peace. So my question to you is, what experience do you want to create for your audience? And how will you be able to do that with your content? Right? I have another former client where for her, she wanted to be able to sell her t-shirts, but she wanted to inspire her audience. So every time she showed up with inspirational content. She shared scriptures with them. And each time she posted, that thing will get thousands of views and hundreds of comments, right? So what experience do you want to create for your audience? What energy do you want to evoke? For what emotions do you want to evoke from them? And then put out the content like that. That's the type of content that will stand out. That's the type of content that will help you to show up like the authority so that now people will actually want to come to you and buy from you. So if you're in here and you're like, Star, that's exactly what I need. I wasn't even aware of this, right? Some of you, you're putting out educational content, but it's not standing out. You're recognizing that it's your educational content that's getting the least amount of views. So how can you shift that? How can you shift that, right? That's what we show you in the challenge. In the AI Content to Cash Challenge, we show you how to put out the content that's going to reach your dream audience, right? So that now when you're reaching them, they actually want to work with you and buy from you. Social media doesn't have to be hard. You just got to have the strategy that's going to work for you and show up in a way that people actually want to work with you. Because the reality is they do. Somewhere out there, there are people who are praying for the solution to their problem, and you are that solution. But how long will you keep them waiting? If they never find your content, they will never get the solution to their problem, right? So if you're like, that's me, I'm tired of playing small. I want to know how I can show up as the authority. I want when people see my content, they're not just liking it, but they're actually sliding in my DMs. They actually want to buy from me. Then go ahead and join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge. In the challenge, we'll show you how to create the content that's going to attract your dream clients and how you can speak to them in a way that you're growing your following and growing a community. Because for some of you, it's not just about getting the sales, it's also about growing the community with like minded people because you know that you've been called to them. There are some people where you've been called to change their lives, to help them to heal, to make an impact on their lives. And they're just waiting to see your content. So if you're like, that's me, that's exactly what I want, that's exactly what I need help with, join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge. All you have to do is DM me the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite. If you're on TikTok, hit the orange button at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Type challenge accepted into the DM, send me your email address, and I'll personally send you an invite. If you're on Instagram and LinkedIn, same thing, just DM me the word challenge accepted. If you're on YouTube, all you have to do is click the link that is in the chat right there. So I'll do a quick recap. Today, I'm talking about your content is failing because no one sees you as the authority. No one sees you as the authority. I'm sharing with you three things that is missing from your content and how you can fix it in order for you to actually get the sales that you deserve, right? So the first thing that I share with you that is missing is conviction. People don't know your values. They don't know your philosophy. They don't see your unique way of teaching, and you're not creating an experience on your page in order for people to want to buy from you, right? So I showed you how you can fix that using a couple of AI prompts, right? But the next thing that's missing, number 2, the next thing that's missing is confidence. Confidence. You're showing up inconsistently or holding back because you're afraid of judgment. You're afraid of sounding salesy. There's some of you in here where you've told yourself, I'm going to go live today. And you've been saying that for the last 2 weeks and still haven't gone live. Some of you have said, today I'm going to create content, and you'll put on the makeup, you'll get dressed, but then you don't actually hit record. You don't actually go to shoot the content. You get stuck. You get stuck in a cycle of going to ChatGPT to ask Chat, what should I shoot today? And in the midst of doing that, your phone rings and it's a client. In the midst of doing that, your phone rings and it's your child. And before you know it, 5 hours pass and you haven't shot any content yet. That's because some of you are lacking confidence. And instead of you addressing the mindset, you're ignoring it and you're thinking, oh, tomorrow I'll just do it. Tomorrow I'll just do it. But what if you address what was really holding you back? What if you address what was really keeping you small so that you can actually show up and be a blessing to your audience? Just what if? If that fear of judgment, some of you, you're not posting the content because you're afraid that you're going to embarrass yourself. You're afraid that people are going to judge you. You're afraid that people are going to leave bad comments on your post. But my question to you is, what if they leave good comments on your post? What if you actually make 5 sales from that video that you post? I had a friend that I was talking to over the weekend. Oh, the weekend is already here again. Oh my goodness. The week went by so quickly. Last weekend, my friend was visiting me in town, and I was telling him, hey, how come you're not putting out any video content? He owns a fitness business down in Georgia. And he said to me, I'm not putting out video content because I don't want to have to edit it. And then if I do edit it and it's not perfect, then I'm not going to want to put it out. Right. And already I understand his mindset. Why? Because I get a lot of clients like that. Oh, but if it's not perfect, I don't want to put it out. If I don't edit it a certain way, then I don't want to put it out. But in all actuality, it's just the fear of judgment. And the thing is, his business is doing good. He's getting sales through word of mouth and referrals. That's fine. That's where some of you are. Your business is doing good. Technically, you don't need social media. But if you're a high achiever and you're a high performer, you don't want your business to just do good. You want your business to do great. You want your business to scale. So when you're ready to scale, you recognize that word of mouth and referrals is very limiting because you can only reach but so many people. But if you can bring your business online, put out the video content that's going to reach your dream clients. Imagine just getting 5 clients from one video that you post. When I shared that with him, his mind shifted from, oh, I'm stuck in the mindset that I don't want to edit, when in all actuality, there's people out there that I can help. If you can shift from, I'm afraid of being judged, to who can I actually help, that will help you to show up. Some of you don't feel confident on camera because you may have gained a little weight. You don't like the way that you look, but no one's judging you on that. It's just you. It's just you. Some of you don't want to show up because you're afraid of being rejected. But my question to you is, what if you showed up and you changed someone's life? What if you showed up and they bought from you and they said to you, I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for you? I remember I used to be afraid to show up. And there'll be some days that I wake up in the morning and I don't even want to go live. And every time I would go live, after thinking to myself, I don't want to, somebody will come on my live and say, oh my goodness, Star, this is exactly what I needed. Thank you so much for showing up. It was like clockwork every single time. There was this lady where she was watching my live, and I was encouraging everyone, empowering everyone, and telling and teaching, here's how you can get content, here's how you can create content that sells. And she wrote in the chat, I was ready to give up. I'm ready to give up on my business. And I said, no. Don't give up on your business. There's a higher calling for you. Your business is there to transform lives. Join our challenge. Join us at the VIP level so I can help you. And in that very moment, she joined us at the VIP level. And at that time, I was offering our one-on-one elite strategy sessions to our VIPers. Now we only offer it to our Diamond Experience members. right? But she joined it, and in 30 minutes, her whole business was transformed. She said, Star, I was getting ready to give up on my business. And in just 30 minutes, she did that one-on-one call with me. Her whole business was transformed. She started showing up with more joy, with more excitement. She knew exactly what she wanted to sell. There are some people out here where they're ready to give up until they run into your content. They're ready to quit until they run into your content. They're ready to throw in the towel until they run into your content. But my question to you is, what if they never see your content? Are you willing to pay that cost of them not being transformed? Now, some of you in here, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, there's so many other people out there who can help them, but they're attached to your voice. They're attached to you. They're waiting for you. I've had clients where they refuse to work with anyone else. It didn't matter how much my services cost. They refused to work with anyone else. They just knew, Star, you're my coach. But if I never showed up for them, they wouldn't have a transformed business right now. So instead of thinking, what if people judge me? What if people reject me? What if they leave bad comments? What if they don't like the way I look? Instead of thinking that, transform your mind to, who can I help today? How can I be a blessing today? How many people am I going to help change their lives today? When I first started creating content, I would pray over all my videos. And I would tell my videos to go out there and bless someone. Go out there and bring them back to me. Let me help them. That's what I would tell all my videos to do. And guess what it did? It would do that. I used to put out prayer videos, and I would get people to come to me and tell me, hey, I would download your prayer videos. I would write them out and say them out loud. That's life changing. That's life changing. Your content has the power and the ability to change lives. Isn't that why you started your business to begin with? So you can help someone, so you can help them build wealth, so you can help them have better relationships with themselves, with their families, with God. Didn't you start your business so that you can show women that they are beautiful on the inside and the out? Didn't you start your business so you can help people to save their money? That after they die, it doesn't have to go all to taxes, that they can leave a financial legacy to their children. Isn't that why you started your business? But do you know that in order for you to really make the impact, people have to see you? And it starts with your content. But if you keep standing in your way, if you keep playing small, if you keep convincing yourself that your content doesn't matter, then you won't show up to be a blessing. You'll keep hiding, and you'll keep falling behind the thought process of, what if people judge me? As opposed to, what if I can make an impact and transform lives? Thank you, Kwanda. Peaches says, good morning. You caught my attention with this. Oh my, how powerful. God bless you. Oh, thank you, Peaches, for joining us today. But that's the goal. Hey, Christopher, how you doing? That's the goal. That's the whole point of your content. I remember when I first started posting my videos, I used to be so frustrated because I honestly felt like Instagram was blocking me. Yeah, I said it. There's some of you who feel that way now, but I felt like Instagram was blocking me. I remember I would try to post my content. It barely would get views. And then one time it started to glitch so badly that my content wouldn't even get posted. And I got so frustrated that I threw my phone across the bed. And I said, I never want to see this again. I don't want to do this again. And in my heart, I told God that I quit. I give up. I don't want to do this. It doesn't make sense to me. And I remember in that moment, two people called me. Well, maybe not in that moment. It was a course of 2 days, right? But two people called me. And both of them said, I want to pray with you. And I'm like, okay. And as they're praying for me, matter of fact, they both say the same thing. They say, Lord, release her followers. Release her followers. Let them come from all over. And I thought to myself, what? We're praying for followers now? It sounds bizarre. Like we're sitting here praying for followers. But here's what I learned. I learned that social media was more than what I was thinking it was. There's some of you in here where you're thinking too small about social media. You're thinking it's a nuisance. You're thinking that it's a way for people to be nosy. You're thinking that it's a tool that people just play around with. But God was showing me in that moment, it's way bigger than what I thought. And so what did I do? I decided to implement a routine. It's called warfare and workout. where I will wake up every day for 2 weeks and I would go to war for my business, right? That's me praying, that's me worshiping, that's me calling down heaven and releasing my angels to fight against the spiritual forces that were attacking me. And then I would work out. And on day 3 of this warfare and workout, I remember God said to me, "You're not just the general on the weekends." Now, some of you are like, "What does that mean? What does a general mean?" I have a ministry called Whisper Hearing God. And in that ministry, our lead pastor is called the general. So I'm the lead pastor of that ministry. And in that ministry, on the weekends is when we show up. We have Bible study Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. And during Bible study, when I say that I give my people the work, I mean, it's a lot of raw, fire, 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 like all the things, okay? Calling down heaven, casting out demons. I was doing all of that on the weekends. And they call me the general. And God was letting me know, you're showing you're showing up like that for your ministry, but I need you to show up like that on social media too. And my whole mind shifted. And I recognized in that moment that social media is my territory. It's my territory. Nobody can come and take it from me. I'm the one who reigns over it. So the content that I put out, it goes out to transform lives. I don't put out mediocre content. I don't just put out content just to put out content. I put it out there so that when you meet it, it will change your mind, your heart, and your life. It will change your pockets and your profits and your presence. That's the goal of my content. That's because God has shown me this is my territory. So for those of you who can hear me, you can hear it in my voice, and there's a stirring in your heart. Social media is your territory too. You have been called to it. That's why you can't leave TikTok alone. That's why you can't leave LinkedIn alone. That's why no matter how mad Instagram makes you, you are still on it because it is your territory. It's going to be the place, the platform that God uses for you to transform lives. And that transformation looks different for every single one of you. If you're a relationship coach, it is the platform that's going to help you help other people to have better relationships with themselves, with God, with their spouse, with their family. If you are a business coach, it is the platform that God is using through you to help people build and acquire wealth. If you are a finance coach or a money mindset coach, it is the platform that God is using through you in order for you to break off strongholds off people's minds so that they can actually build wealth. If you are a consultant, if you work in insurance, that is the platform that God is using through you to help people to secure their finances. But if you keep telling yourself, what if people judge me? You'll never accept the call and you'll always play small. And then the people that you are actually called to help, they will continue to suffer. But if you've decided this is my territory, I'm called to help, I'm called to transform lives, then I want to allow you to dream with me. I want you to dream with me in this moment. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to hear what's going on in your surroundings. And I want you to allow yourself to dream. What do you see is happening? What does your social media look like? Does it have thousands of views? Does it have millions of views? What does a comment say? Is it hundreds of comments or is it thousands of comments? Are people thanking you for showing up? Are they asking you how they can buy from you? I want you to dream big because some of you, you can't even fathom getting 10,000 views on a video. You can't even fathom getting 300 leads from one video. But as long as you can dream it, as long as you can see it, that's the receipt of what's waiting for you. Oh, but there's about 2 of you in here where I asked you to dream with me and you didn't see social media. You saw a platform. You saw a stage and it was big and you were talking on that stage and it was thousands of people in the audience. That's what's waiting for you. And it starts with your social media. But if you keep on telling yourself, I'm not ready for this. I don't want to be seen. What if people judge me? You keep pushing away that dream and it gets further and further away from you. But if you want to stop pushing it away and you want to step into that purpose, then join us in the challenge. Our goal is to make sure you get seen through your content. Why? Because I believe this with all my soul and my heart. that when people see you, they pay you. That's a real thing. When people see you, they pay you. Not only do they pay you, they invite you to speak on podcasts. They invite you to speak in their mastermind. They invite you to partnerships. There are some rooms that will not be unlocked for you until you grow your following. There are some rooms that will not be unlocked for you until you release the content. So if you're like, that's me, I've had that dream, that's what I desire, and I'm ready to scale, then DM me the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you're on TikTok, there's an orange button at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Click it, type challenge accepted, send me your email address, and I'll personally send you an invite. If you're on Instagram and LinkedIn, all you have to do is slide in my DMs, challenge accepted, and I'll send you that invite. If you're on YouTube, the link is in the chat. All you have to do is click that link right there, and you'll be able to join us in the challenge. Thank you, Peaches. The challenge kicks off on Monday, right after the holidays. And in this challenge, not only am I showing you how to create content that sells, I'm showing you the AI tools that will help you to create the content fast so that you can save time. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a service provider, you're a business owner, and you constantly tell yourself, I don't have time for social media, but you want to, I'm going to show you the AI tools to help you consistently create content that sells. Because your goal as a business owner is not just to show up and grow your following, it is also to convert your followers into customers. Imagine putting out video content that gets you 10 leads a day. That's 10 leads times 30. That's 300 leads in 1 month. But let's say you don't even get that high. Let's say you put out your video, you get 1 lead a day. 1 times 30 is 30 leads in 1 month. You do not have to put out content that doesn't get seen. You do not have to put out content that doesn't transform lives. You can step up and say that social media is my territory, and you can be a blessing today. But if you don't know how to, join us in the challenge so we can help you. That's our goal. Hey, Juliana, how you doing? Yes, I love that Juliana said social media is my territory. That part right there. That part right there. Right? So today I'm sharing with you your content is failing because no one sees you as the authority. I'm sharing 3 things that is missing from your content and how you can fix it to show up as the authority. The first one was conviction. What are your values? What is your principles? What is your philosophy? What's your personality? That needs to be in your content so that people will want to buy from you. The second one is confidence. To stop playing small, to get out of the mindset that judgment is coming to you, that you're fearing judgment, that you're afraid of sounding salesy, but instead in stepping into social media because it is your territory. And this last one right here is clarity. Clarity is the last thing that's missing from your content. Your audience is confused about who you help and how you help them. Let me share this definition with you because there's a lot of people that I meet where they are afraid of marketing. I will go to a networking event and I would introduce myself and I will say to them, I am a digital marketeer. My goal is to help you amplify your presence and your profits so that now you're scaling your business to consistent 5-figure months. And do you know that they don't hear anything else but digital marketeer? And all of a sudden they get scared. It didn't matter that I told them I help you make money. It didn't matter that I told them that I help you to scale your presence. As soon as they hear digital marketeer, they get afraid. Why? There's a lot of people who's afraid of marketing. I used to be one of them. I used to cry to God and say, I can't teach the people marketing. I don't know it. I can't do it. Right? Until I finally understood what it was. So I'm going to share this definition with you, especially if you're afraid of marketing. The definition of marketing is to clearly communicate how you help people. That's all marketing is. You're clearly communicating how you help people. Now, how you do that is different. You can do that through organic content, which is what I teach you, how to use your videos showing up on social media to reach your dream audience. Or you can pay for it. You can pay for Facebook ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads, LinkedIn ads, or you can write about it. You can do blogs, or you can do newsletters. You can do email. You can do word of mouth and referrals. That's what some of you are doing now. That is a form of marketing, yes. But the marketing that I show you is how you can show up on social media. It's your territory already. So how you can lead the people and show them how you can help them. But it has to be clear. And that is the biggest thing. There are some of you right now where you're showing up on social media, but this is what your bio sounds like. 5-time best-selling author, have helped, nope, it doesn't even say have helped. Dog mom, mother of Eli, mother of Sandra. And that's nice, but what does that got to do with your business? How does that help anyone? They have no idea who you are or how you can help them. And then when they go to your content is like some educational content about this, some lifestyle content of you being on vacation. And then you're wondering, well, how come I'm not getting sales? Because no one knows you have a business. And I see that a lot with authors. I would get some authors that come to me and they're showing up, and in their title, it may say author. It may say, I wrote this book in their bio, excuse me. But then their content is all about their kids. It's all about their family. And there's nothing wrong with that if you just want to have a personal page, that's fine. But if you want people to buy your book, you actually have to show up as the authority. And it has to be clear that you're selling a book and why it matters to your people, right? I'm just bringing up authors because that's who I see do it the most. If you have a coaching service, because I see that too, especially on TikTok. Some of my coaches, when I see you showing up, you may have coaching services in your bio, but then you're hopping on all the trends and none of it has to do with your business. And then you're wondering, wait a second, how come I'm not converting my followers into customers? Because there is a mixed messaging between your bio and your content. You want to make sure that your bio matches your content. Your bio, I want you to think of it like a headline. You remember back in the day when we used to read magazines? Anybody still read magazines? I don't. I don't even know where to get a magazine. Maybe now online. But back in the day when I was growing up, we had magazines, right? And magazines, everything was about that headline, that front cover, everything was about the headline. If you didn't have a good headline, people weren't reading your magazine, right? So I want you to think about your bio like it's your headline. It needs to be a powerful bio to clearly show your people how you can help them. Now, your bio is going to look different on each platform, but it should use similar words. If you check out my bio on LinkedIn versus TikTok, you will see that TikTok only allows like less than 30 words. So it's very short, but it says learn how to create content that sells. If you go to LinkedIn, it allows you like 1,000 words maybe. So you'll see a little bit more in depth, but it still tells my people, here's how to create content that sells. Your bio, especially if you're showing up on different platforms, should be the same across each platform, that people can understand how you help them. So that's your headline, right? The next thing is the actual content. The content should match the bio. Whatever you put in the bio, that's what should be in your content. So if you tell people that you're an author, your content needs to be about your book. Okay. Yes, I said it. For those of my authors out there who's like, I don't know how to sell my book. Your content should be about your book. How does it help people? Why do they want to buy it? Why do they need it? How does it transform their lives? If you tell people that you have a coaching program, your content should be about your coaching program. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to caution you because some of you out there is like, I'm already doing this. Yeah, you're teaching the thing that you want to teach, but you got to teach the thing that makes people want to buy from you. There's a huge difference. I have a former client. Her name is Christina. I love talking about her. She's amazing. She's a career coach. And what she does is she helps men and women land their dream jobs, making 6 figures from home, right? When we were identifying what she should talk about in her content, we identified 3 pillars for her. The first one was resumes. The second one was negotiations. And the third one was interviews. Well, different order, resumes, interviews, and negotiations, right? Now, when she started showing up, she started posting about resumes. And guess what? People started opting in. They started buying. So then we said, okay, let's test interviews. She talked about interviews. Nobody paid attention. She talked about negotiation. I don't even think we made it that far to negotiations because we just kept seeing that resumes was taking off. So instead of her teaching the thing that she wanted, because she wanted to teach about negotiations, I'm not going to front. Even I told her to teach about negotiations because it sounded like that's the thing that people want. But actually, what took off on her page was resumes. So instead of you teaching the thing that you want, teach the thing that your audience wants. But guess how you're going to figure it out? You have to test. You have to test it again and you have to pivot. Oh, you got to test, pivot, test, pivot. Come on, test, pivot, test, pivot. You will never know what your audience wants until you put out the content that you can test it. That's the goal. And so when you're doing that, then you can become super clear on these three things. I tell my clients this all the time. Your objective on social media is to understand your audience behavior. What gets them to buy from you, what gets them to engage with you, and what gets them to follow you. If you don't understand that about your content, about your audience, you will constantly be putting out content that's not working and you don't know why. You will constantly put out content that goes viral once a year, and you start thinking that viral video is the reason why is what your audience wants to see. Only to find out that the next 20 videos, low views, and you don't know why. So in order to get out of that up and down or drastic result to no result, you want to understand what content to post that grows your following, what content to post that gets you engagement, and what content to post that gets you sales. That type of clarity will help you to put out the content that's going to get the results that you desire. And that's what we show you in the challenge. When we say that we help you to get results in 5 days or less, we mean it. Because we know what it's like, me personally, I know what it's like to be on social media, listening to this guru, listening to that guru, listening to this guru, and writing it down and doing everything that they're telling you to do. Then you start to implement it. And guess what? You don't see the same results. And you're wondering why. That's because you didn't have the full picture. All you're getting is bits and pieces, but you need the full picture. In our AI Content to Cash Challenge, we teach you marketing, not just posting. Posting is only part of your marketing journey. That's it. It's not the full. I've had business owners come into my challenge and tell me that they thought all they needed to do was put out videos that go viral and then they'll be able to get the sales. Only thing is, they've been doing that for 4 months and nothing's going viral. Man, they can't even get past 100 views. Why? Because they don't know marketing. So we actually show you how to clearly communicate your message to your audience so you can show them how you help them. So that now there's no confusion. And they're coming to you, they're sliding in your DMs and they're saying, how can I work with you? Do you offer consultations? How can I buy from you? Isn't that the goal after all? For you to be able to bless your people in this way. Isn't that why you started your business? And isn't that why you took it to social media? You didn't come to social media to reach one person. There's some of you out there where you're like, if I could just reach one person, then I did my part. That literally makes no sense. Nobody goes on social media to reach one person. Word of mouth, yes. Referrals, yes. But you literally go on social media to reach thousands of people. So let us help you, only if you're ready. See, the challenge is for high achievers and high performers who's ready to take their business to the next level. That next level could be hitting 20K months, 30K months, 50K months and beyond. That next level could be getting on bigger stages so that you can get seen by more people. That next level could be increasing your sales and landing high profile podcasts. Whatever your next level is, that's what we help you to do. For some of you, your next level is just getting out your own way so you can go live. Because right now, you are posting video content. You keep telling yourself you're going to go live, but you haven't done it yet. For some of you, your next level is getting past 100 followers, and you're ready to get to 1,000 followers. We want to show you how to do that in the AI Content to Cash Challenge. All you have to do is DM the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, all you have to do is click the link that I have displayed on the screen now, and I'll send you the invite. But also, if you send me your email, I can send you the email to the challenge. Here's the thing. The challenge kicks off on Monday the 7th. And once we start, you can't get in for July. So that means you're waiting another 30 days just to get into the next challenge. That's another 30 days of delay with the results that you desire. If you have been telling yourself this year, I'm ready to scale my business, but over the last 6 months, you have been bringing in the same amount of clientele, it's time for a new strategy. And that next strategy is social media. So if you're in here, you're like, that's what I want, come on and join us. The challenge is also for the business owner where you're stuck between 8 to 10K months and you're ready to get to your next level. Only thing is you have a fear of sounding salesy in your videos, so you haven't yet begun selling in your videos. You're constantly giving out freebies to your audience And even in your email list, you send out one email a month because you're afraid to sell to your audience. You think that you're going to bother them. This is actually hurting your business because your goal is for you to put out content in a way that is selling for you. But if you're afraid of sounding salesy, then you're stuck in this cycle and you're not going to be able to scale. So we want to help you to scale. The challenge is also for the successful coach where sales isn't your issue. No. You've already hit 40K months, 50K months in your business. Your issue is visibility. You want your influence to match your income. So you're making the money, but on social media, when you start showing up, you don't look like the expert. You don't sound like the expert, and your views are low and your following is low. And to you, it's frustrating because you know that you should be the next speaker at the biggest conference, at Podfest, at Funnel Hacking Live, at Essence Fest. You should be invited as a speaker. But people younger than you, making less money than you, is being invited to speak because of their marketing. So we want to be able to help you, but all you have to do is join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge so that we can help you. Now, here's the thing. We have 2 levels. We have VIP and we have the Diamond Experience. For those of you who sign up for VIP, you get to join us 1 hour before the challenge starts each day. You get to ask your questions and we get to answer you. Now, here's the thing. This is a live challenge. So you will be present with us. This is not a challenge where it's pre-recorded and you watch videos. No. This is a live challenge. I'll be with you. I'll be your coach for those 5 days, right? We've had people come into VIP, ask their questions. One person, when she asked her question, she made $750 in 3 days. Another person, when she asked her question, she got 30 leads overnight. Another person, when she asked her question, she got 60,000 leads in 2 weeks after the challenge ended. The whole point of the challenge being live is so that you can get live results in that moment, especially if you join other social media programs and you have never met the coach. Some of you have invested in social media programs before where it was with a really big influencer or a really big guru, and you never met the coach. You met their counterpart. And because of that, you felt invisible. And because of that, you felt like, man, I need help with the implementation, and you weren't even getting that help. We don't do that in the challenge. In the challenge, I'm with you. I'm your coach. It's personal. It's intimate. And when you ask your questions, I help you right then and there so you can get results, right? So that's VIP. Now, if you sign up for the Diamond Experience is you get everything from VIP, but you also get an elite content strategy session with me before the challenge. Well, the challenge is on Monday and we have a holiday. So now it's going to have to happen the week of the challenge, right? Now, this elite content strategy session is for the business owners where you desire exclusivity. You don't just want to work with a coach. You want to get one-on-one time as well. When I have my clients go through this session, in just 30 minutes, they have clarity on who they're attracting, how to attract them, and what content to put out. Just 30 minutes. Some of you have been trying to figure that out for months, even for years. It doesn't take that long. I just show you in 30 minutes and it's that fast, right? When Keith and Vanessa went through it last month, they walked out of that session knowing exactly how to create the content that speaks to their dream clients. And guess what happened? They took off in the challenge. Every video that they created in the challenge was speaking to their audience. And it helped them. They said they got the clarity so much. They went from charging, I think, $1,000 for their offer to charging $5,000 for their offer. That type of clarity. Because some of you are just underselling your products and services. That's why people aren't buying yet. And they see it. They're like, oh, no, that's too low for me. I know some of you are like, what? That sounds crazy, but it's true. I show you how to sell your offer high ticket, but it starts with that clarity session. Now, some of you desire a session like this, but you don't want to have to pay $10,000 for it. So with the Diamond Experience, you don't. All you have to do is when you go to the contenttocashchallenge.com, right? When you go to the website, all you have to do is click the second option, Diamond Experience, sign up, and I will send you a one-on-one session to book with me right away. Right? So that's the AI Content to Cash Challenge. I want to show you what we teach every day of the challenge, just in case you're like, okay, will this work for my business? If you are a service provider, which means you offer a service, so you could be a coach with a coaching program, you could be a consultant, you can work in insurance, whether it's life insurance, auto insurance, you could be a photographer, you could own a spa, you could be a realtor, an entire interior designer. Those are all services. We help you. If you are selling a product, we do not help you. I have a friend who will help you. She's on here now. Her name is Quanda Renee. She helps you sell your products, right? But I help you sell your service. So if you have a service business and you're like, that's what I want, that's what the challenge is here for. That's how we help you. On day one of the challenge, we show you how to position your brand. Why is this important? Because some of you, the way that you're showing up, there's no clarity. And so when you're putting out your content, your audience is confused. They don't know what you're selling. They don't know how you help them. So we show you how to position your brand on day one. I'm going to show you how to prompt ChatGPT to help you show up with that type of clarity. On day two, we show you how to package your message using the power of storytelling, right? So this is something that Jesus did. Every time he showed up, yes, he performed miracles, he did healings, he did teachings. But in order for him to grow his following, he had to relate to his audience, and he did that by telling parables. So I show you what I show you what stories to tell in your content in order for you to get your sales. So we're not just telling stories. I show you how to tell stories that sell. Story selling secrets. That's what we teach you, right? Hey, Jackie, how you doing? Girl, I haven't seen you in so long. Shoot me a text so I can get some updates on how you're doing, right? Day 3 of the challenge, we show you how to produce a 6-figure content strategy. Why is this important? Because there are some of you, I had a client who came into the challenge last month. She has a $25,000 offer. And on the first day of the challenge, I always ask everyone, how much money do you want to make on social media each month, right? Now, every time people lowball themselves, they're like, I want to make $10,000. I want to make $25,000, right? And so my goal is to get you to increase. In her mind, she thought that the only amount of money she could make from social media is $25,000. I said, girl, your offer is $25,000. That's one person. You're doing all of this to convert one person. Like, you can make 50K months. We can convert 2 people. And she said, I just never thought that I can do all of that on social media. Like, anything is possible on social media as long as you use it for marketing, right? So in order for you to hit the 50K months, the 80K months, some of you, it might just be 20K months, right? In order for you to do that, you need a 6-figure content strategy. So I show you how to do that. It's the same strategy that I use to grow my business from $21,000 in 2022 to $117,000 in 2023. I know. Yeah, that's an astronomical difference. That was a quantum leap. So we show you how you can do that. Day 4 of the challenge, I show you how to present your offer. So how do you sell to your audience high ticket without discounting it? There are some of you in here, you have heard enough. I can't afford. That costs too much. And so because of that, you keep finding yourself lowering your price. No. We show you how to speak to the right audience who wants to buy from you, so that now you're selling high ticket. I'm a high ticket coach. I don't think I talk about that quite often, but I show you how to sell high ticket. Why? Because I have learned in my years that it's a lot easier to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. That's it. As opposed to making a little bit of money in a long amount of time. I used to sell low ticket. And when I sold low ticket, I was exhausted and I didn't make that much money. Now I sell high ticket and I'm not exhausted, but I make a lot of money in a short amount of time. For me, if I want to hit 20K months, that's 2 clients. That's it, just 2 clients. For some of you, when you're selling low ticket, if you want to hit 20K months, that might be 200 clients. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But for me, this is what I show my clients, how you can sell your high ticket services without discounting it. So that's what we show you on day 4. And on day 5, we show you how to profit from your videos. So how you can use AI tools so that you could create the content that profits. It's a full system. Because some of you right now, you're putting out the video content, but you don't know how to get your followers from just watching to buying. You don't know how to get them from commenting to buying. So we show you that system so that now you're having consistent 5-figure months. That's the goal. You want to hit 10K months, you want to hit 20K months, 30K, 40K, 50K, you name it. this system will show you how to do that, right? But again, that's only in the AI Content to Cash Challenge. You can join us. All you have to do is DM me the word challenge accepted. If you are on Instagram, LinkedIn, or TikTok, if you're on TikTok, hit the orange button at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Is that my right? That's the left. Bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Yeah, bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Hit that orange button, DM me the word challenge accepted, and send me your email address, and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you're on YouTube, all you have to do is click the link that's displayed right now. It's in the chat, and I'll send you a personal invite. Okay, y'all. Tomorrow is the 4th of July. I hope that you all enjoy your holiday. I'm technically off today, so this was like my last thing before I just enjoy my weekend. So I hope you all enjoy your holiday weekend. Again, the challenge kicks off on Monday, so if you want to get in, now is the time to get in to join us. And then on Tuesday, I'll be back with another live. It's called Posting Daily Won't Make You Rich, but Systems Will. I'm going to show you an AI system you can use to make you rich with your content, right? So y'all have a powerful and wonderful, relaxing 4th of July weekend.